Hey guys, Ryan here with Realtors Corner. That was a great episode with Kevin Kingma. However, I'm really excited now to talk to Kevin Kingma and Levi Kap, the duo, the K&K team of Platinum Key Realty. These guys, they make such a great team, and I'm really excited to talk to both of them and see, what that cohesion and that teamwork does in terms of creating them is doing something different in the market and why they're doing it differently, and some real good nuggets here in terms of their industry, what they're doing innovatively, and I'm excited for you guys to hear it. Let's get into it. All right, hey guys, we're here with Levi Kap and Kevin Kingma of K&K Platinum Realty Inc. Great to have you guys here. Levi, great to have you here because Kevin and I, we were on last time. So this is good to kind of get both of you as the team together. I've got a lot of questions. I'm sure our audience does as well. But one thing I wanted to start with, Levi, can you give us a little bit of, your history, and I guess Kev, you can jump in on how you guys met and that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So getting into real estate about 4 years ago, just a little bit past that, joining a big brokerage, kind of getting into it, working out what's working and not, and eventually just kind of stumbling across Kevin and seeing that we work well together, and it just kind of flourished into what it is today.
Right on. No,
I think
awesome.
I was in a position where I needed somebody to kind of help me out, and then it sounds funny, but I don't really work well with others. So
yeah.
So they said we have a fella for you. He likes hockey. He's a good guy and that. So he's from the Oak Ridge area. I was like, damn it. But no. So yeah. So we met up and worked some things out.
Yeah, that's good. So okay. So I'm curious then. I mean, having some businesses, having partners, and that sort of thing. How does that relationship start to kind of flourish? How do you guys find kind of like a sports team or whatever, where you're kind of finding your role? You guys meet, and then you're like, hey, let's do this together. What are our roles going to be? How do we, kind of leverage each other's strengths and weaknesses? Did you just kind of?
I think it was kind of slow start.
Okay.
It was more like testing waters. It was kind of giving him some jobs here and there and just having him do it. And then just when you send somebody out to the field, they do their job, they come back and you're like, hey, I think you can handle this.
Yeah.
First year was probably a slow process, I guess, of just kind of finding out what the strengths are. But
yeah.
It actually worked out in the end where a lot of my weaknesses are his strengths and that, and vice versa. So
nice. That's awesome. That's good. So Kev, you've been in real estate for how long now?
I think 13, 14 years. 13 for sure.
Okay. And then Levi, this is like year 1 or 2?
This is going on, going on year 4.
Okay, so year 4. So you've got some experience, and then you connect with Kevin, who's got like some more years under his belt. However, I do know that, being, and myself included, having younger partners come on board with me, I'm learning from them just as much as they're learning from me, right? Yep. So is there a thing where you were kind of bringing some new, younger perspective to the team, and then Kev, vice versa, in terms of like I'm just curious because that's how it works with my business too.
I think a lot of it, it worked so well because it happened organically. And like Kevin said, it was slow. So it wasn't like we had an original idea and had a plan and we're like working towards something. It was, we're getting together, we're working on projects together. I'm learning from him. I'm learning from different environments. And then, once in a while looking back and going, okay, this worked really well. Let's add on to this, or coming across things like situationally, and then kind of building off it. And it just kind of has kept building from there.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. My side of the story is I actually think he has more patience than I do.
Good.
I would say, like, as the older guy, there's a 20-year age gap in between us, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of have that, feels like the younger brother, and that sometimes feels like a father figure role. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But I think it was just kind of realizing, like, I'm always in a hurry. Let's get this done, right? So, like, when he's driving, I'm like, holy shit. Like, buddy, let's go. He's like, why? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm in a hurry. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, I'm not. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to take a while.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who backs into the parking spot every time. It's painful, right?
But I mean, that's kind of that, like, that's a good, and I share that with you, Kev, in terms of like, yeah, just having this insane sense of urgency, but then having others say, well, wait a second, slow it down a bit, because I find that when I'm moving too fast, I miss some things. And then it takes like Alex or Ben or Natalie or some of my other partners that are younger than me and be like, well, you just missed like 3 things because you're just trying to get from A to B so quickly. Do you find that
you would think though,
Yeah.
right? Like as the older guy,
yeah.
that you would be the one that's like, hey, not my first rodeo, slow it down. It's good, right? Where it's almost like he's telling me like,
Yeah.
slow it down, like everything's going to be okay. I'm like, no, it's not. Let's go. But yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, it works out well that way. So he's an old soul for
Yeah.
sure. So
Yeah.
that works out. Yeah.
So so you guys start working together? Let's back up a little bit. Like, how'd you guys get introduced? How did the connection happen? That sort of thing.
Do you remember that one?
Well, so when I started out, I think it was probably a few months in, and I was just sitting down with like some of the managers at the office, going like, "Hey, like, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to work and be productive every day. You know, I haven't been having much luck selling houses so far. Like it's month 3, and I haven't sold a thing. What's going on?" So I think they just started like putting me in front of people like Kevin and going, "Hey, like he's pretty busy. He might have some open houses you can cover and stuff like that." And then I think from there it was just, okay, now we're on the phone once in a while. Now we're following up about things. Now there's some interested parties that are I guess mutual between the two of us now. So then it just kind of, I think, kept building from there. And
so there's lots of little things I feel in real estate that it's like when you've seen years of real estate and then you have to go put up a coming soon sign.
Yeah.
Right. So you drive to the property, put up a coming soon sign. And then when it's listed, you have to take the coming soon sign off, or like you have to put up a key box and get the key. These are things like I don't know how I forget them, but I do.
Right.
So it's me calling Levi saying, shit, like I'm on the road over here. Can you go put up a coming soon? Can you put up an open house rider? Can you take down an open house rider? Can you give a key? Or seller forgot their key. They can't get into the key box. Can you go open it up? So these are all things where he's like, yep, done. I'm like, holy shit. So it's not like he's going like, yeah, like I can do it in a half an hour, just like that eagerness, right? Which I felt I had like year 1 to 3 to 5. And then after that, you kind of get in like a routine, right? But like when you're first into it, just willing to do whatever, right? Open houses, like door knocking. I can't door knock. And this guy can go up to any door and like, hi, I'm Levi Kap. And then I can't. I'm just like, I don't know why I'm standing at your door. So it's just little things that he does that I don't. So
again, complimenting each other, right? With certain skills and that sort of thing. What's Levi, is getting into real estate? Is that something that you always wanted to do, or like how did that? What was your journey there?
So when I was a little bit younger, when I was 19, I bought my first house.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was an experience. It was a little...
Wait a sec. At 19, you're buying your own house?
Yeah. So when I moved away to college, I had a little bit of inheritance from grandparents. And at the time, the market was quite different, but it worked out that it was going to be financially better off to like buy a house and rent it out than pay rent for a handful of years.
Wow.
So I was kind of in like the student rental aspect of things. That was going really well, made a lot of sense. That was awesome. School, not so much. I was like, hey, like this rental thing has been awesome. I get it. It works. School, I'm like, this is horrible. This is dragging on. This is not it. I think I just fell out of passion of it. And then I just was like, hey, like the one thing that is really working, maybe I should just, get more into that.
Huh.
It's weird that you make money here and not in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange. Yeah. Figure, right?
So that made a lot of sense. And I was like, oh, that's the logical route to go from here.
Wow. That's awesome, man. I mean, you give me an inheritance at 19. Who knows what I would have done with it, right?
Yeah.
So good for you for
I would have a nice car, nowhere to live.
Yeah, me too, exactly.
Yeah.
So then that kind of started your path into the real estate game and that sort of thing, thus getting involved at kind of a young age into real estate. That's amazing. And then obviously seeing that, like, okay, I'm a realtor, I need a mentor, and then connecting with Kevin as kind of a mentor, that sort of thing. That's great. Yeah. So you guys, fast forward to now, you're working together, you're a team, you know, K&K, that sort of thing. I see you guys out there, you're cutting lawns, you're, you know, painting, like talk a little bit about that. Like, how did that materialize into this kind of like full service real estate team that you guys are?
I think when it just comes to like people pleasing or like doing a good job or doing a really good job, I think that's what it is. I think people can do like a good job. We want to do a great job, right? So I think it's an eye for detail. I think it's a passion too. I think it's when you can look at something and say, hey, like it starts with curb appeal. So it's like, well, let's cut this or let's trim this. And there's some homeowners that have lovely grass, whatever. And then if you kind of sharpen it up with a little bit of trimming, it just looks much nicer, right? Huh. So then we just kind of got into what else would make it look nice. But we're very handy. Like I was in construction for 16 years and that. Right. So very handy. So I would say we just look at a house and go, well, that needs a wall plate for a receptacle. It's just going to the hardware store, grabbing one of those. So it's kind of, a lot of realtors don't, and they wouldn't. But I think that's kind of how we started, just doing extra and just, I don't know, like there is lots of time in between when you're not doing too much in real estate. Like I'm not saying you're not doing anything. You're always on your phone or that, but physically, right? Yeah. So we can still be answering phones and that while we're cutting lawns, and it's just fun. Yeah. It's exercise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, yeah, you guys do. It's pretty cool seeing that because I don't know, personally, it's just not something I see every day. Like, and I like how you guys are sharing that journey on your socials as well. Like, it's really cool because usually, I mean, if personally, if I'm just looking at a house, it's like all of a sudden it just looks beautiful. Yeah. And it's like, okay, yeah, great. But then you guys are actually showing the other side to that in terms of like what that takes to enhance the curb appeal or whatever. Now, talk a little bit about when you're going into a property or house, how do you assess like, oh, this if we cut the grass, this is gonna be a bigger ROI than like, I don't know, painting the fence or whatever. How do you guys assess like what to do?
I think it's all by feeling. Like you were talking about this yesterday. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's just a feeling going like, you know, we've done this in past homes. Wow, like this made a huge difference. We're seeing, you know, the house move quicker. We're seeing it get more traffic. We're seeing like just an immediate return on what we're doing. And we're like, hey, it's almost addicting going, hey, this is almost making our job easier. Like, yes, we're doing more work, but it's like, we're not working with this person for 3 months. You know, it's like, hey, we've done all this Upwork front or all this work up front, I should say. And now we're like, you know, seeing the house sell much quicker, and it's a huge benefit to everyone.
And cool. Like one more thing to add, we were talking about, I think it gives like more of a connection with your client too, right? So they're hiring you, like they've either heard that you do like a good job or they've seen your sold signs. So now they're looking out the window going, holy shit, like, is that our realtor? Like, you know, leaf blowing, right? Pictures are in 30 minutes, leaves are falling. We're blowing that off just to make sure like it's a nicer, like we've blown snow, like light snow off of, if we get a light snow in like November, we're out there with the backpacks, like blowing this light snow so it still looks like grass.
Yeah.
Just little things like that, like even like moving furniture. And when there's two of us, it's like you walk in, we were just in a house and there was like a huge heavy hutch and there was a table, like heavy wood from, I don't know, the early 1800s.
Taking up a lot of space, yeah.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, so we just kind of walked in and said, hey, what's your thoughts if we just move that to the garage? And she was absolutely lovely, open to it. So we're struggling to get this out, got it through the door, got it around the outside into the garage, and then dropped that in there. And then we're moving this and that. We put in this small round glass table, opens up the whole room. And she was like, wow, you know?
Okay.
So I think it gives a connection, like, to your clients when you're not just going like, hey, like sign the papers, I'll get a photographer here and then we'll list it. Right. So it's just having the talks, having the feeling like they're feeling that you're working hard, and they have like an outline of what a realtor does, and then they see what we do. So it's really cool. And then they're posting us going like, oh, this is our realtor, or this is my realtor.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in some cases, I think they're almost even like proud as well as the product. They're like, wow, like, this is my house. Like, I almost don't even recognize it. Like,
I should have done this 5 years ago.
They're almost like, oh, like, I don't know. I kind of like this again. It's like, oh, well, we like changed
no, you
some
don't.
things
You're
around,
still selling.
moved it around, like changed the whole flow of the home. And now they're like, wow, like check out like what I got to sell. Like,
Interesting.
I think it's just having like an eye for detail. Like we were talking about, and this sounds really heavy, like the power of having like a welcome mat. How many times you walk in your house, like you get a welcome mat from like Home Hardware, $30-$40.
Sure.
And you're walking across it, right? Walking across it. And then you see outside, like you're cutting the grass, everything looks pretty good. When you show up on your first like showing, there's a nice crisp like welcome mat. Like we put down a new welcome mat and they're like, wow,
Right.
It's those little things, right?
Yeah.
So we call it the power of the welcome mat.
I love that actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. I remember hearing a story that this kind of side note, I don't know if we'll use this or not, but a guy goes to buy a bike for his kid. It's $3,000 and then a bike for him, $3,000, but he brought the seller a can of Coke and said, hey, like I want to buy your bike. Here's a can of Coke. I got one. Can you like maybe do better on the price? Maybe $2,500. The guy was like, yeah, you're nice. You bought me a can of Coke. Yeah, $2,500. That's like a $499 like ROI on that can of Coke, right? So not to diminish like the power of the welcome mat, but that is powerful where like a $30 welcome mat has massive perceived value of like, it's not just $30 welcome mat. That is like these guys actually caring about the details in my home.
Well, that is your first impression, eh? Like, so when we walk up, like we'll see cobwebs that people don't normally see because you're walking through them. Just take the blower and just, there's a high ceiling in before you walk into the house and that, and then just cobwebs, I don't know, just even having leaves or like sand or dirt like on your porchway, blowing that off, and people are like, wow, like just
interesting.
It has to be like right when you drive up, there has to be some sort of a feeling. So like if you drive up and things aren't really maintained or taken care of, then that's your first hurdle, right? And then you walk inside and then so we always say like less hurdles is just more, I don't know, like it's more appealing, I guess you would say.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm writing these things down because
you're going to become a realtor. And,
oh well, I don't know. The power of the welcome mat. Who knows, right?
KKB.
Yeah.
KBK.
Hey, why not? When you guys get a listing or a property, do the two of you go on there for an initial assessment? And is it like you're seeing something, Kevin, Levi, you're seeing something, and you're like kind of discussing, hey, I saw those cobwebs there, or whatever, and you guys kind of bring different viewpoints to a property, perhaps?
I would say we almost kind of share the same. So it's now, like, I'm sure that it was in before, like it was kind of Levi, like not following like in behind, but just kind of coming with me and then seeing this and that. And then Levi having that same feeling of this has got to go. Mm-hmm. And just, I think we're just same page, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
I think it's, absolutely. Well, and if we're walking through and we're having conversations like with the homeowner at that time, I think it's almost like we might like lightly mention something and then the other person almost like feeds off it. Like Kevin will like mention or like point at something and be like, yeah, like gotta go, like absolutely. Or like, oh, like we're going to address this.
Cool.
And then it's almost, maybe it's an energy or a passion and the homeowner's like, okay, like they're super on the same page. They clearly are seeing the same things. And like, there's no hesitation. There's no question. It's like, okay, like we are very confident in their confidence.
Nice. Yeah.
Now, I would love to tell you how I ended up with a Don Cherry suit jacket that's framed.
Yeah.
That's got to go.
I went into a buddy's house and then I was like, hey, listen, you're probably going to want to take this out because, yes, it's a conversation piece, but when people are showing your house, they're going to either walk past it, look at it, not like it, or they're going to walk past it and go, hey, remember when, and blah, blah, blah. So then he says to me, he goes, hey, you got room in your shop. Can I put it up there? So 8 years later, I still have it in my shop. he still comes by. He still comes by as a beer. But like I've picked up a couple things along the way. But no, there's some things like people talk about family photos and that, and then like how it's important because we have people walk in, sure, they're looking at the house, and then they look at the family pictures like, oh, do I know them? Or what are they doing? Or this or that. So it's almost like, oh, those people live here. So like you almost want to take it out, right? Yeah. So it's just kind of going like when one person's like, I think that's a good idea. It's like, no, that's a great idea. Just get them out of here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, there's just little things like floor mats. I don't know. You'll see realtors that have like shoes in the hallway when they're taking pictures, or we've seen people like half of them like knitting on the couch. Like there's dogs in pictures and that, and like dog dishes. Like I love dogs. Like if I could, I'd put a whole couch of dogs, but it's just like for
not
some people,
does.
Like there's cats in the picture, or like some people show like full garages. I don't know. I don't get it. Sorry, I just went on.
No, that's
some realtors show like this old furnace like in a pic. So here's a beautiful kitchen. Here's a beautiful primary bedroom. Here's a beautiful living room, and then
an unfinished space.
And then here's like unfinished. Here's your furnace. Here's like
moving
your
boxes
water heater.
piled up.
Right.
Yeah. So it's those little things where we just look and just go,
feeling.
those are terrible pictures.
Yeah.
And in June and July when there's still snow on there, I'm like, I think it's kind of time to call us because your realtor still has snowy pictures in like May, June.
Yeah.
But it's very frustrating. It's just those little things. It's like we've had properties like rural properties where it's farmland and that. So it's going to take a little bit longer. But say like if we list that in January, there's probably going to be snow on the ground. So like if it's still for sale in say March, then we have our drone guy going out and like taking new pics rather than somebody going, hey, like that's been listed for a long time. Right. But yeah, so like it's about like keeping up too. And then when people relist something that hasn't sold and then they still have snowy pics, we just sit there and go, shit, like we missed our calling. Like just call us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm curious about too. I want to ask you guys is seasonality, like in your industry. And I don't know this. I've just always been curious. Like, is there a better time to sell than others? Like you're talking about snow on the ground versus leaves on the ground versus a beautiful grassy yard, that sort of thing. Like what are your views and what's kind of the industry standard?
I feel like I'm going to jump in on this and then I'll let you speak.
Yeah.
It's like, we feel it comes down to product.
Okay.
Really.
Yep.
So like if you're selling, like some people say, hey, listen, like let's sell like in the spring or let's wait for the spring. Well, there's going to be more this, more that, more competition. There's going to be more people up for sale. So honestly, like I think it really comes down to product, right? So like we just had a house that we just listed. While it's considered a slower market right now, not a seller's market, but we listed this half-acre shop was like 24 by 40, and then good-looking house. But yeah, that one gets an offer like right away.
Wow.
Right? So it's one of those, it's like, and then we have like a couple other houses that are in subdivisions where there's lots there to choose from, and they're not jumping. So I think it comes down to product, really. So there's not really a time. Like if you have a great product, that's what somebody's looking for, done. Right. So it sells. So go ahead.
Absolutely. Oh, I was going to say even seasonality. I find like if we're looking at a property, the difference between like seeing it in the winter versus seeing it in the summer or anywhere in between, you get a totally different feeling for what the landscape is, what the neighborhood looks like, the feeling of it, like just different things to appreciate. Like if it's, wintertime, you're probably not thinking about the beautiful trees all around and what your gutters are going to look like in the fall, right? Or small things like that I think can change your perspective depending on like when that person is looking at selling or moving or whatever it is.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing too, is that you enter into, Kev, I think you mentioned this, like, why not try and sell when no one else is selling? Because then you're actually going to have that advantage. You're going to enter that. You're kind of going to get more eyeballs on it versus like, so I never even thought about that actually.
I just kind of tell people like when you feel like you are 100% ready, absolutely do it. Like there's lots of people who try to rush. Like we'll get a phone call on Wednesday. Can you list it for Friday this weekend? Yeah. Right. But it's like, no, like we got to take the time to like get into the house. What can we do? How can we make it look a little nicer or whatever? But this also comes down to when we list too. I don't want to give away all of our secrets, but I won't like we won't like list on a Friday, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because I feel like people are like thinking of the weekend. Kids have a hockey tournament, kids have a slow pitch tournament, karate tournament, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like they're gone. So on Friday, they're hitting Costco, they're just out, gone.
Yeah.
Mind is gone.
Right.
Saturday, people are already gone. So there's realtors who think, oh, I got time. It's Saturday. I'm going to do this listing. Well, Saturday, like if a new listing comes up and somebody's gone, it's like, I can't see that till Monday or Tuesday. So then it kind of sits in that.
Right.
Sunday is a terrible time.
Yeah.
And we don't even like listing on Mondays, right? Just because I feel people return to work and then they have some workload. So Tuesday's great. Wednesday's a fantastic day to list.
Okay.
And then Thursday morning and that. But like we try to keep away from that like Friday, Saturday,
interesting.
Sunday list.
Never
But
would have thought of that.
if that went off topic a little bit, but for listing,
that
it's
could be
just
super
So like we've read up on it, like went over numbers, and you think about that. Like on Friday, if you list a house on a Friday,
Yeah.
how many people are gone? How many people are going to the Knights game? So they're thinking about that, and then like a listing pops up. It's not like they're searching right then and there, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people are gone to the beach on a Saturday.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are gone on Sunday.
I guess, I mean, those are things like I would never think of those things. So that's where I would need you guys to guide me as a homeowner to be like, okay, like let's list it right away. And you're like, whoa, hang on, right? Like that's not the best day or put the brakes on. Well, you guys talk about product, but what I also want to kind of understand or learn about is like lifestyle. So you have the kind of brick and mortar stuff going on, right? Do you guys really look at like the holistic kind of lifestyle of the home or of the neighborhood or community and that sort of thing? Is that important?
I think we try to like promote that lifestyle. Like we have a house right now that has a pool. Greatest yard I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Nicest.
Really?
We didn't have to do anything on the yard.
Oh, nice.
But it's like it's right near the golf course and that. So it's like when we're talking to people, it's like, hey, like we want a showing. Quick phone call. It's like, hey, listen, we'll throw in a couple free golf passes if you, like show the property, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to sell lifestyle of the home for sure. Right.
Yeah.
So it comes down to
Interesting.
good product and lifestyle, of course. Like if you want to be close to the school or something, right?
Yeah.
So kids can use a sidewalk all the way to the school. It's like if you want to walk like to the golf course, if it's so like you try to provide that lifestyle. Like if Walmart's close or whatever, that's important for some people. So lifestyle of it. If privacy is your lifestyle, if you want to walk around in your undies out on your deck with nobody seeing,
Nice. Yeah.
I think it's capturing that passion. So even going back to like when we're listing versus when they're seeing it, it's like when you're on the buying side of things, it's okay. We love the area. We've seen the photos. We're excited to get there. On our drive-in, we saw it's the grocery stores right there. We can see the kids walking to school, or even it's a nice day and we saw the kids playing in the neighborhood around there. So I think it's like trying to make that perfect storm, like as many good things going for it as possible. So when they get there, all they have to do is go, okay, like, will this work for us? Is this the right home for us, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes we'll know that there's a showing, so we'll drive past there and slowly, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. And then they think, wow, there's some really good people around now.
Nice. That's awesome.
We'll get some of our friends to like walk their kids down the street. This is my
go play catch in the park.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference.
Yeah, like we pay our assistant's kid. It's like, can you fall off of the bike and then we'll come and save you and just wave and like, I don't know.
Superman capes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
like you have to kind of sell the lifestyle in that. I think it comes down to product, obviously price too, right? But and that's a tough thing. Did you want to get into price right now? Because I could just absolutely go
let's
off.
get into price right now. So just start jumping into that.
Okay,
for sure.
so we
Mm-hmm.
run into as realtors, like if your first phone call is, hey, what's your commission?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even want to do this, right? And then it's like, well, we have 3 or 4 realtors that were lined up. I'm like, then you're going to choose the one who's the lowest commission with the highest price. So like when you try to be honest with them, it's kind of hard to say, hey, listen, like here's our commission, here's what we do. And they think about numbers, right? But we also have to let people know our honest opinions and say, here's what I think your house is worth, right?
Yeah.
I just lost a house, went to his house. He didn't have any luck selling it in before. So then he did like a lot of renovations on his own. So lots of personal pride. So like I walk in there, I was like, hey, great job. I just went through a reno myself. I think you should paint this floor here because it was in just like shitty shape there downstairs, like laundry room, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think you've done everything else. Like the only thing I could say is like paint this floor gray. I think it would look great. I'm like, I think you're $699. He's like, no way.
Oh man.
I'm like, I think you're a $699. Like this just sold for this. I sold one. He called me because I sell everything in that area, he says.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, $699. I can't do $725. I can't do $749. He's like, well, there's about $150,000 work I put in. I'm like, I think you put in 60, but he's saying his work was worth,
Right.
I get it. Lots of personal pride.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I don't think that went too well, right? So probably won't get a phone call back, right? Like a week later, it's listed $699.
Oh God.
And it just gutted me. I'm like, what? Why? Right?
Yeah.
I've seen this before several times. So what I think it is, you go in there with an honest opinion. They have an expectation. And then when you tell them like $699, they're like, oh, get out of here. Right? Like he went off about everything he did. And then he probably met another realtor that probably told him like, yeah, maybe $675, $699, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
And then he might have met one more, and then he's like, fine, just you list it. I don't want to call this guy back and say, hey, sorry for being such an ass.
Yeah.
So that happens.
You must run into that
Way too much.
though, right?
I think
Way too much.
I think it comes down to sometimes being brutally honest, sometimes almost being a hurdle, being like, hey, I'm going to give you my best opinion if this was me in your shoes.
Yeah.
And this is the advice I think you need for like success down the road.
Yeah.
And it's not always what someone wants to hear or what they have in mind, right? So I think it's a hard thing of going, I think we're very to the point going, hey, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell you what you necessarily want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how we're going to get the most successful outcome like today.
We want to be on like the same level. And I always say like, I don't want to work for you. I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Right. So that conversation has only turned negative a couple times. Like, no, like we hired you, you work for us. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
If you want to work with me,
Yeah.
if we're on the same page, I think your house is worth this much. If you think it's this much and you want to try and we're within like a wheelhouse, sure. Right. Not a problem. But just understand if we have to go down, that doesn't look great. Right. So like if we have to chase that market down, then we're chasing. Right. So people always say like, oh, we can always come down. And I'm like, honestly, you can always go up. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And
right.
if we're listed way too low, you're going to have a lineup.
Yeah.
Right. And you can always say no to whatever offer that you get. Right. So we went to a house and he was adamant, like he's 1112. I'm like, everybody else is like 900, 950. How are you 1112? It's like, well, we have this deck that's screened in and whatever. I'm like, well, there's a house over there that's 950, has a pond right in behind it, has woods, right? Great area. He's like, that's a mosquito pit. I'm like, oh, here we go.
God.
Your house is the best, right?
Yeah.
So he was referred to me from one of the guys from golf there. And so I told him, I said, listen, can we just try $999? If it's low, people are going to come in here and just throw money at it. Like they're going to have a multiple offer situation.
Yeah.
So I told him, I think it's an $899, $900 house. He's like, no way. He thinks 1112. So we tried the $999. Doesn't go anywhere. So he's like, well, we're way down the list on Realtor. I'm like, that's because we listed 30 days ago. Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, how do we get to the top? I'm like, you would have to cancel your listing and then you go to the top. It doesn't matter. So then we go down to 949. I'm like, well, now we're down to 875, like in the market, because the market's going down. Now we're kind of chasing. So then we just cancel it for $500 less. I'm like, I've never canceled a listing for $500 less to get you up here. And they didn't want open houses at the start because their house is so nice, right? Oh, now they're like, can we do an open house on this weekend and on this weekend? I'm like, I'm not getting this. So didn't have the greatest communication, felt it was very one-sided. So I sent him this long, like, are we breaking up text, right? I'm like, listen, I've done all I can. We've done open houses. I told you what I thought it was. I think it's at the 850 range now. It might even be 825. We're lost here. I can't do any more, right?
Yeah.
So then he's like, well, can we cancel? I'm like, absolutely. Right. It's a mutual release. He's like, well, make it effective immediately. I'm like, not a problem.
Yeah.
So a month later, this realtor says, hey, can you take off everything on your socials that pertains to this house? So I'm thinking, well, I had it at 950. Are they going to go back to like $1 million or $1,050,000 or something like that? They listed at 850.
Of course.
I'm like, that's $100,000 lower
Oh my God.
than everything we did.
Yeah.
It's actually still sitting there. But it's
Really?
like, why couldn't you just work with me?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like I said, your expectation was 1.1 to 1.2, and now you're at 850. Could you imagine if we put it at 899 at the time I thought that we were 899? Probably would have been sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have to go, thanks for not calling me back when you went down $100,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like I put this money in, that money in, this time, effort, physical, mental, and then they just go on to somebody else. Frustrating.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Well, you deal with egos and they get in the way, and yeah, that would be tough for sure. Definitely. When a seller turns into a buyer, can you guys talk a little bit about that?
You can start on them. Awesome.
Yeah, it's just like going from one extreme to the other. So going from we've broken up with our home. We know that we're going to be moving on, and it's, it was our home, and now we've decided that we're going to part ways. And then the total flip side of that being now we're a consumer. There's a lot more emotion attached. We're falling in love with something again. Can we see our family here? Can we see holidays here? Whatever it might be, and just the transition from how they're attached as a buyer and how their momentum goes there versus, okay, now we're selling something and have pride and ownership and, might see things one way as a seller, but when you're the buyer, kind of not seeing that flip of the script.
Yeah.
I got a hot take on that.
Yeah. Good.
When the
Go.
seller turns into the buyer.
Yeah.
Right. So we list a house, and then let's say our price is 900,000, and then somebody comes in with what's considered a low ball offer. So if they come in at like 820, right, that's when sellers are going like, I'm so insulted, right? Like, this is a low ball. This is personal. They wanted me to feel terrible about this number, right? And then we try to tell sellers, it's like, hey, listen, like if they're coming in on a low ball, what you consider a low ball, they probably want the house. They just want to see how cheap that they can get it, right? Because it's a negotiation market.
That's fucking annoying, eh?
There's a vibrator going on.
Yeah, once in a while. Sorry, Kev.
No, that's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Keep it going.
So they'll probably see this number that comes in that they're not happy with, right? So they're insulted. When really, like, we tell them, it's like, hey, listen, they want your product, your house. They just...
Fucking good timing, eh?
Yeah, this is a good hot take, too.
See, I know this is awesome. Do you want to start from the top on that
I
one?
would just act like it's not happening, but
Yeah.
If you want me to keep talking through it, I can.
run
It-
it back.
I don't-
Run it back on that.
I don't think it's gonna catch.
Run it back.
Eh?
Can you
Okay,
hear
as long as you're not
Oh, I can
distracted
talk
by that.
through it.
Okay, fine,
Okay.
fine. Sorry, man. Talk through it.
All right. Where do you want me to start?
Just start right back in that 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go. Yep.
So we list a house at 900, and let's say somebody comes in at 820, right? So they're feeling that they're way off. So they're insulted, right? Like they think that that offer was meant to hurt them personally.
Right.
When I try to tell them that it's like, hey, listen, like these are numbers on a paper. They want your house. They just want to see how cheap or, like if you'll move on price. If you're not happy with it, reply to it. Because if you say no, because you're insulted, they're just going to walk away, right? So
Right.
there's a lot of passion to it. So it's like, let's keep them on the hook. I know that you consider it low, insulting. They're not trying to insult you. So then they move up in price. They come down in price. They move up. All of a sudden, we have a deal. And if you would have told them, I'm insulted, go F yourself, walk
Right.
away. So that's why we try to keep them like on that same level. Like just put it on paper, don't walk away.
Yeah.
And then we sell their house, right? And then they turn into the buyer. Now they need a house. That same seller that was so insulted from that, it's like, I don't know, like if they're asking $1 million, let's go in 900. I'm like, to insult them?
Do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like now
Yeah.
you're insulting them. It's like, what? No, we aren't. It's like, do you remember what happened with you? Oh no, I don't remember that. Right. So it's like when the seller turns into the buyer, right? There's just this mental game of like, I'm insulted. This is my house. That's a low number. And then when you want something, it's like, here's our number. And then you might insult somebody else. So we always try to keep them on paper, but it is kind of funny how the seller can turn into the buyer and they're two different modes, right?
Yeah. I never would have thought about that. So is it an advantage to be a buyer before a seller then in that respect? Or does that question not even make sense?
There's like several different just scenarios, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people sell first, some people purchase first. Depends on the market, right? Like there was a market where you could just sell and know that you'll go and find something, but people want to find something first, put an offer on it, sell their home. So yeah.
I have a question actually I just thought of. Is it how am I going to ask this? Is it easier? Is it better to work? Do you guys enjoy working with first time homeowners versus someone that's been doing it for they've sold and bought several homes? Or
I think we just like working with good people.
Yeah.
I think
Honestly.
that's spot on. Everyone's different.
Yeah. Because we have some first time home buyers that come with some luggage with like mom, dad, friend, uncle, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
My uncle's the unofficial home inspector, and all
The
of a sudden
uncle,
he's
the uncle Joe who did concrete there for 20 years is like talking about framing, and he's like, "Oh, that roof's gonna fall apart."
they start coming up with numbers, big numbers. They're like, "Oh, that's 10 grand. That's 50 grand." You're like, "Hold the phone, 50 grand." Like,
Yeah.
no, like
Same guy who did
interesting.
concrete's like, "Hey, you can take this wall down." I'm like, "Then your roof's gonna fall in." But hey, but Joe knows everything. But no, like I think it's just working with good people. Like sometimes people have sold like 10 houses, and then they're just good people that are like, "Hey, we've already been through the rodeo," or there's some people that is like, "Well, we've sold 10 houses. We know what we're doing." I'm like, "Then get your license."
Right.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
But,
That makes sense. Yeah.
it's nice when we work with people who know that we're on the same team and they want to collaborate and work together, and like here, like they're gonna ask a question and they want to like actually listen to the answer, I think, and go, okay, like sounds good, not just like here's what we think and it's our way or the highway, and then you're like, then what am I here for if like
Right.
you know, my advice is just getting thrown out the window, right?
That's where, once again, I say I want to work with people. I don't want to work for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So for sure. Yeah. That's good. Okay. So let's get into let's get into the entrepreneur versus influencer. Okay. Entrepreneur versus influencer. And then I'm curious about the trends that I see in like all kinds of I don't know. I mean, how do you say it? Like the hide and seek trend. Can you guys talk a little bit about the entrepreneur versus influencer versus trends that are happening in the industry?
Well, I think when we got together, like this is about as far as our fashion goes. Is like
It looks great. Yeah.
But we like showing up like to people just like looking real, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to show up in a 3-piece suit, right? Because our version of working is like blue collar. We're here to help. We can get dirty. We're also going to negotiate for you. We're going to stay up until like 11 p.m. at night, right? So the whole thing, I see like a lot of, I think it's like selling sunset is what really set these people off, like thinking, well, I can wear large sunglasses and get my mustache waxed and look real good and whatever. But I think we're showing this version of ourselves is like we're blue collar, right? Okay. But there's a lot of trends out there where people are, I don't know, like they have brand new outfits and that, and we don't, right? So we're going in there to work, right? So we see the trends of the hide and seek around the house. It's cute, but that's not selling your house, right? So we like to show the house in a video, not get in front of the house. Like people are like, "Hi, I'm Kevin Kingma from ABC Realty. Like, look at my new shirt. Come to the next room and you're going to look at my new shirt. And come to the next room and you're still looking at me."
Yeah.
We don't mind doing like an intro saying like, "Hi, it's Kevin Kingma from Platinum Key Realty. We're here at this. You're going to love the pool, whatever. Come on in," right? And then show the house. But there's a lot of people that just want to be in front of the camera. They want to like, look at me. And like, I'm too old. Like I'm 45. I don't want to be doing like tic-tac dances or that, or learning this new thing. I want to show the product, show the house.
Yeah.
And then sure, you're trying to sell yourself as a salesperson, but you're not trying to use that house as your own advertising, like advertise the house.
Well, and let your work speak for yourself. I think like coming from a space where a lot of our work comes from referrals, I think that is like the biggest thing. It's like, okay, it's not like I'm coming in with this persona and I'm going to impress someone with the car I drive or the outfit I have. Like, yeah, like you said, you're not showing up to it in a 3-piece suit. Like, it's no, we're here to help. You know, so and so referred you to us because of how we were able to help them and what we were able to accomplish for them. And now it's like, okay, like, you know, we're going to continue to do that and build off of that and help more people.
I think we want to show the people there's a difference in between doing work, actual being an entrepreneur versus an influencer, right? Like we have 2,000 or 3,000 followers, right? Doesn't sound like a lot. If you want us to get 15,000 followers, $4.99 a month, right?
Just go buy
it. I can go on Instagram. I can purchase followers. I don't know if people know this. Like I could get 30,000 followers for like $10 a month. They're not going to be local. They're not going to be interested in anything I have to do or say, but you can pay for that. So there's realtors out there that are paying for 10,000 likes or 10,000 followers. And then you have the consumer or like somebody going, hey, we want that realtor because they have a good following. Or we want that realtor because they made a movie. Yeah, the exposure.
Yeah.
We're going to get exposed to 10,000 people. I'm like, they live in California. Right? It's like they're not from London. They're not from here. But it's good to have a good following, but I want to be more of an entrepreneur rather than an influencer. So a lot of our videos are work that we're doing on houses or things that we do about houses, about real estate, right? We're not walking into houses, kicking out sellers saying, get off my movie set. It's like, you know, when I was a boy, I dreamed about living on a farm with 50 acres and then the sun coming down.
Right.
It's getting a little bit old, but
yeah. Well, and it becomes a little bit distracting too. Like that hide and seek thing. I'm just like, I end up just watching the person being like, and not even paying attention to the house. Personally, I just find like these trends are really distracting.
Yeah.
Right? Like what? Like
it's fun for your personal, I guess your personal character, right? So like we'll do some videos that, like it's to show off our personal character, but it's never when we're like listed and trying to sell that home, right? So it's like we want to show the home in the video. Like I don't want to jump in front.
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and just making sure that you're like the goal at the end obviously is selling the home, making sure that the client is looked after throughout the whole process, and like adding value there. And I think that can sometimes get lost through the process.
Yep.
Let's talk. Can you guys talk about the brand that you've developed? Obviously, you're wearing like the shirts and the hats, and you have the physical brand. But then you talk about like this kind of blue collar, this brand that you're developing with your team and that sort of thing. Is that something you guys had talked about, or just organically just developed into this kind of like brand? Like you guys are clearly creating this brand that's different,
right?
And I love it. Can you talk, like, has that been intentional or is that just kind of grown organically with you guys?
I think. Did you want to go?
I think it just worked. I think it was natural. It was organic. It was just, hey, we're kicking ass and taking names. Like it was just like, hey, like this is how we're doing it. And it just kind of came together, and we just started going, hey, like we should probably start, capturing some of this or like showing a little bit more, because like unless you're planning on selling your house with us or you might not see that side. So we're like, oh, like maybe we just start working on showing and portraying more of like what we're about and how we
the hands-on
can do business. Yeah, absolutely.
Approach.
I love it.
I think it's when we don't want to make it look like we're landscapers and realtors and that, but if it needs some landscaping, sure, we'll do it. If it needs some furniture moved, sure. If something needs like painting and that, we'll do a little bit. But yeah, like we have all these contacts too. And like it's kind of nice, like with a full service realtor, you have your contacts, you have your people that you call like to get this done or that done, electricians, whatever. Like if we need to change a light, we will.
Yeah.
But there's some people that don't realize like one light's out, right? Go and change it. People are like, well, that's how it is, right? So, and then we're the type that show up like when the photographer's there, and then lots of realtors don't. They just kind of let the photographer do their thing, but we're there actually like moving things. We're moving tea towels off of stoves. We're moving like red mixers off of white countertops because your eye just goes right to it. And so we kind of just naturally like just shot some things. We put some photos on about us doing some landscaping or whatever. And then people were like, what a difference.
Yeah.
And we did the befores and afters. And then we started taking some videos and people were like, hey, that's pretty funny. So,
showing like how we got there. It's like, instead of like, here's a house that's listed, it looks great, awesome. And 2 weeks later, here it is sold. Congratulations. It was like, hey, like, here's a little bit of like before the scenes, how we got to this point. Here's what we were doing while it was listed to, you know, keep generating traffic and interest. And then here's the outcome because of it. And I think just kind of showing like the full circle. Like, it's not just sign in the ground and then, you know, wait for an offer, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of people who think, though, too, that it's like when you call the realtor, they come out, they take pics, there's a sign in the ground, goes on MLS, and then it sells, right? So we're trying to show the side where it's like full service and like what we do. And we're, once again, not afraid to get dirty and just get in there. Like, we want to show the difference in between being an entrepreneur versus an influencer. Like, we would love to push our t-shirts as an influencer, but the reason we wear them is just to show people like who we are. And then, you know, the black t-shirt, get in there, get dirty. And
yeah, that's amazing. Okay, I want to talk about like vanity metrics, like views, likes, shares, all that sort of thing. Can you talk about that?
Oh, this is going to be touchy. Just because you like to get likes and views on your content, right? For sure. That's your content. I think it shows that you're a realtor. I think it shows like what you do. But if you're getting like 200, 300, 400, 500 likes on this home, right? Good for you, right? But are you selling that home, right? So are you in behind the scenes? Are you picking up the phone at 9 p.m., trying to make a deal? Or like, are you trying to just make some content that gets you more likes, right? I think we get our likes and that from like just working hard. We're not worried like if there's only 30 one day or like 100. How do you tell somebody it's like, hey, you got 40,000 views on your listing? That means 40,000 people haven't came forward to jump on this. So people are like, oh my gosh, it's getting so many views. Or like, we need a realtor that has 15,000 followers. I'm like, no, you just need that one person that's going to purchase your house. So we're trying to do this locally. We're trying to do it blue collar, showing people, talking to people, getting people out, actually going, hey, we have a product. We're not the product, right? We're not influencers. We're entrepreneurs.
I have something to go off of that. I think also when we're doing as much like volume as we are, and we're just sticking to like what's working, we're not necessarily trying to like reinvent the wheel. It's sometimes it's even hard if like, it's nice to see stuff, people are liking your stuff or interacting with it, but I think it's almost like, oh, the Kevin and Levi again, there they are helping their clients again, like nothing new here. And it's like, well, no, like it's like, oh, like we're doing it again, we're doing it. It's like, okay, like it might not be eye-catching and exciting, but it's like, no, it's just like, it's what we do. We're showing up for our clients, we're helping them, and it's
consistency.
Yeah.
Okay. So I call it the new puppy. All right.
Yeah.
Once you get a new puppy on Facebook, everybody's like, oh, new puppy. Wow. Like. And then it's like puppy's like 6 weeks old. It's like, hey, I got a new puppy, and people are like, oh, like. And then it's like, well, my puppy's now 2, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, my puppy's now 4, and people are like, yeah, like, that's cute. So, but we're consistent. We're like, that's a great dog, you know? And then it's like, we're consistent. So that's just, we like to just show people we're consistent. We're not worried about likes. It's cool to have a good product, but yeah, like we can't have a new puppy every single week. Right. So it's like not reinvent the wheel. So what I'm trying to say is I'm an entrepreneur, not an influencer. I'm not going to do your damn tic-tac dances.